Good evening and welcome to the Nighttime Heat right here on Prime FM 105.5. This program is also being relayed by Radio Gegema, that is in Nima County, Kwatika in Bon County, and of course, a Radio Wulagisi in Lofa County. We are streaming live from Prime FM Monrovia 105.5. Again, Prime FM Monrovia 105.5. We are streaming live. We are also streaming live on our Facebook page. That is the Nighttime Heat Facebook page. What to do? Just tap Nighttime Heat to where they have the search, and of course, you're going to follow the show. Wanted to share the show tonight. It promises to be very, very interesting. Don't go away. Share the show so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones, your partners can also follow what's happening tonight on the Nighttime Heat. We're also streaming live. We are also streaming live on our YouTube channel. Again, just tap Nighttime Heat and subscribe. After you've done so, we want you to continuously receive notification bell. So just notification. So just hit the bell as soon as you do so. We assure you that anytime the show comes on, you're going to receive notification and to watch the show online. Well, I'm still with my two panelists. George Kennedy, he may not come. George said he been swamped with a lot of work at his office. But again, he been suffering from some poor health. We're hoping that he can make his way. If he can't, it's understood. I know Moses Sandy will shut to join me so that we can discuss about Mama Liberia. And the next, I'm sure, Edwin Famule will also join tonight. Tonight, we'll be looking at some major discussions. I know you've been following the removal, the sacking, the dismissal of the former Minister of Lands, Mines and Energy, Wilmot Pay. Well, we want to bring you tonight the political and tribal implications of Wilmot Pay's removal. It has both political and tribal implications. We'll be talking about that. After it happened, we spoke with Wilmot Pay. We had a discussion with him, but we're not going to dwell on what we heard from him. We're about to do our own research, from individuals. We're able to hear from our sources close to the presidency, and so we'll be talking about that tonight. Also tonight, Liberia has secured another diplomatic milestone. And our country has secured a nomination to chair and co-chair the United Nations Sanctions Committees. Can you imagine that? Under the leadership of Joseph Yuma Boyaka, we've secured that nominations. We'll be talking about that tonight. And also tonight, in the United States of America, the USA has revised its visa reciprocity schedule for Liberia, extending the validity period for certain non-immigrant visas from 12 months to 36 months. Well, can you imagine? Very good news. And of course, also we'll be talking about two bills that have been introduced by two lawmakers. And of course, the bills separately seek the establishment of War Crimes Court and the Special Economic and Corruption Crime Court. It's good to have a law student already now, Mrs. And of course, you'll be telling us about the significance of those bills if they reach the signature of the president. So that's the shape of the program tonight. I know those topics that will be treating tonight are very, very important to you. So join us again. Don't go away. Just begin to share the show. Want you to share tonight's show. It promises to be very rewarding, intellectually. It promises to be rewarding, informatively. And of course, every time we come on the Nighttime Heat, we'll make sure to bring you some new revelations. We'll bring you, things that you don't know. We'll bring you those information. And like I said, we'll be looking into the tribal and the political implications of the removal of Wilmot P. from the Ministry of Lands, Mines, and Energy. I just received in studio one of our panelists, Edwin Formula. Edwin just arrived. Let me try to welcome Edwin quickly to the nighttime heat. Edwin, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mr. Josh. Good evening to our listening public.
Okay, that's good. We really appreciate your time on the program. Okay.
Thank you. The saddest thing about it now that you have taken away my exercise time, because normally when I come from work around this time, I will have to exercise. But we're doing it for the best of our country.
Oh, so yeah, sure.
I try to fit in between Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. We really appreciate the sort of commitment and dedication you've brought to the table. I'm sure very shortly we'll have Moses Sandy joining us. George Kennedy may let not join us. He's been complaining about his health. He may let not join. So, like I said, tonight it promises to be very, very interesting. We'll be looking at the political and tribal implication of the removal of the man Wilmot P. for the Ministry of Lands, Mines, and Energy, who've been doing our own investigation, hearing from people close to the presidency what really happened, what went wrong for which Wilmot P. was removed, and of course the tribal implications and dimension it has as well. Wilmot P. was removed, and another, Nimbayan was appointed. What's behind all of that? We'll be looking at that. What's behind all of that? One Nima man left and another Nima man came in. What's behind all of that? We'll be talking about that tonight. And also, Liberia has secured another diplomatic recognition and milestone as well. The country has secured nomination to chair and co-chair key United Nations sanctions committees. You know what it means? Liberia was, were being discussed, for sanctions to be slammed on us. This time around, we are now discussing. So you see the shift there. Also, the United States of America has reversed its visa reciprocity schedule for Liberia, extending the validity period for certain non-immigrant visas from 12 months to 36 months. Wow. First time, I want to talk about that. And of course, two lawmakers have introduced two separate bills seeking to establish War Crimes Court and the Special Crime and Corruption Courts in Liberia. We'll be talking about that as well. I'm sure others will likely join us at a moment from now. But let's begin this way, as usual. What's on your mind, apart from the four major discussions? What's also been trending on your mind? And let's talk about that quickly.
Well, there are a couple of things. I think our country is now heading into the right directions. Mm-hmm. As you can see, like you quite read a few minutes ago when I saw this whole circular from the U.S. Embassy and being posted on the Executive Mansion website. Mm-hmm. For my recall as a young Liberian, this is my first time hearing that Liberians are going to be getting visa for 3 years period.
But it's also multiple entry.
That these are things that actually brings out the excitement. There's also this issue now going on about this whole oil and gas sector, because I heard today former Speaker Kofa, is saying that he has issues with the Oranto deals. In fact, he has picked specified areas within the deal and trying to say why he opposed to those things. I think these are good discussions at this stage, and they need to deep dive into these production sharing contracts, which of course I think is kind of early yet for us to even start discussing production sharing contracts. So I think they need to look for people who have some level of expertise to sit with the legislature on both sides to give them some detailed information as to how to handle these issues before it's even debated, because I can tell you about 99% of our lawmakers are ignorant to the oil and gas sector.
Okay.
For us, it's new. But there are some Liberians who have education in it. There are some Liberians that have expertise. They need to reach out to them to maybe organize some of those seminars and tell them exactly what they need to look at. But I think, it's very
Let me
good
throw
to
the ball
have
on your
time.
lap. Let me throw the ball on your lap. You've been at NOCAL before. You worked there before crossing over to LEC. I'm sure you may have heard about this whole rental deal. They were here before, and then later on they sold their rights to. But what do you know about this whole rental? They were here before. Just give us an idea before about 8:13 or 8:14. We'll be getting into our actual
topic,
discussions.
yeah. And aside from me working at NOCAL, I'm also schooled in the sector. Like I said the other night, I'm directly schooled in the oil and gas sector, along with a couple of my colleagues that we went to school together. They have a couple of petroleum lawyers. I think about 3 or 4 of them who are young Liberians, lawyers or so. But with all of this alarm that we're raising about Oronto deal, Slobo, I do not see anything fishy, even from the first deal. And I will put it simply this way, right? So there is this young guy who wake up in the morning, go to Waterside when our sisters or mothers buy the Jogafle Bay, the DK. And then they open it. When they open it, those guys take the value from it because they know what is value, right? So they take it from there. Maybe they pay 300 or 500 LD for it. They bring it up on Randa Street, clean it up, polish it. And then you and I who know value, we drive down Randa Street and they say to us that, look, oh, Mr. George, I have a Gucci shirt for $20 US. And you buy it. Will you say that guy stole from the lady down Waterside? No, he didn't. So this is almost like the same thing, but it's in a different way. Now, what we need to understand, most of these super majors, the big oil companies, we call them super major in the oil and gas sector, the Chevron, the Exxon, the Anadarko, they don't want to come to countries that are considered greenfield, countries that have made no discovery. They don't want to take the risk because there are a lot of risks surrounding them coming. There are political risks, there are issues of corruption, and they want to be very, very careful. So most often they send these smaller guys who are the frontier players. So you have the Oronto, you have the African Petroleum. There are a couple of them all around.
Okay.
So they send them to go and take the rig. So they go there, take it, they will come and acquire a block. They will get the seismic data, they will massage it, they will look at it, and then they will go now to the big companies and convince them that, look, we think there is some prospect in Liberia because Liberia falls within the Gulf of Guinea. So we have a block. We can bring you guys in so you can come and look at it. Now, Chevron, ExxonMobil, Anadarko, we have confidence in those guys and coming directly to National Oil Company of Liberia because these are the guys who are the major players. They know where all of these things are. So that's what happened. So when Arthur Easy came to Liberia a couple of years ago, when the Liberian oil and gas sector was totally dead, nobody knew about it, he acquired 2 blocks. He was able to go out there, convince those big guys and say, look, I think there is prospect in Liberia.
Okay.
All right.
After acquiring
the 2 blocks from NOCAL.
Okay.
And it went through a genuine process. He didn't get on the table or so. He was able to convince ExxonMobil or Chevron, to say, I think you can come to Liberia and do a drilling campaign. I think with these 2 blocks, you may be able to find oil of commercial quantity. The mere fact that Oronto was able to convince Chevron to come to Liberia, it led to opening the Liberian oil and gas sector for the first time after a longer period of time. That's how come you saw all of these major oil companies coming to Liberia, including ExxonMobil, including Anadarko, and others. So they actually didn't do anything wrong. Now, with this current deal that we are looking at, what we need to actually look at carefully and now say, look, we've learned our lessons, because the way the oil and gas sector works, it works in deep secrecy. It's a very risky venture. So what we need to do, we should inscribe in our what is PSC or exploration agreement that if you come to us to acquire a block, and at the beginning of your conversation, you did not say that I'm coming along with a super major, maybe Exxon or Chevron. You came along as Oronto, right? You came along as Oronto Petroleum Limited. In the event that you want to flip over this particular assets to another company, whatever income or resources that you get from there, the state of Liberia should get a certain percentage. Those things can be negotiated, but it's the other scary part about it that you have to be very careful, because they can also come back and say to you, we acquired this thing, but we don't have the technology and the resources now to do the exploration. Yeah. So we want to bring a super major in as a JV partner, a joint venture partner, to carry on these operations. But like I said, it's a whole discussions that need to go with it. People who understand the sector needs to sit with our legislators and other stakeholders to let them know how do we go about this thing. Because at the end of it, like I said, it's capital intensive. Is risky venture, because if at the end of the exploration period between 5 to 7 years, if the guys do not find anything, the blocks revert to Liberia. It's Liberia's property. Now, if discovery is made, then we go into now what is called the whole production sharing. But even there, if the state is not very careful, that's where the state gets cheated, and that's where you realize that most of the countries that have oil within West Africa or within the African sub-region are not benefiting from it, because what we do at this stage of the industry, when you start to discuss production sharing contract, you are on the weaker side of the negotiation. Okay. Because the guys will tell you that, look, we're doing all of our investment, we're breaking in the money. So when we discovered,
we should detect to you.
We will detect to you now, and that's why I say, for me, I would have said it's too early for us to start discussing production sharing contract. Let's discuss the exploration contracts. Let it make the find, and then we say, okay, we all know in the industry, once you make the find, you have to recover your cost, and then we go into something called profit oil. Now, within the profit oil, during that production period, the state's supposed to get more. And then the partner get lesser, because they've already recovered their cost once that discovery is made. Yes.
Okay. You're listening to the Nighttime Heat, directed on Prime FM 105.5 and to other stations across rural Liberia. Please share the show. The show promises to be very interesting tonight. Let's try to welcome Representative Smoke Mulba of Montserrat County. Rep, welcome to the program as well.
Thank you, Sobo, and I would like to say good evening to everyone, especially my brother from Mulan. Sorry that Kennedy is not around, so I don't know, but good evening from Mulan.
Good evening, my brother. He's not too well. He just called me, and that's what even brought me earlier.
George. George is not too well.
Yeah, George called.
Okay, so also want to welcome Reverend Dr. Chris Toole of the Liberia Council of Churches. Reverend Dr. Chris Toole, welcome to the program as well.
Oh, thank you very much, Sobo. It's a pleasure being here. Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, so tonight we'll be looking at a couple of topics, about 3 or 4 of them. First, I want us to talk about what could likely be the political and tribal implications, for the removal of Wilmot Pay from the Ministry of Lands, Mines and Energy. We are all aware that Wilmot Pay has been removed. When the news broke up, the next morning we were able to reach out to Mr. Pay, former Minister Pay, and of course we had some discussions. We'll be looking at the political and legal implications. And also today, we heard that Liberia has secured another diplomatic milestone, securing nomination to chair and co-chair United Nations Sanctions Committees. And that's the achievement we've made so far globally. We are now chairing and co-chairing the UN Sanctions Committee. Before then, there were others who were chairing the committee and they were discussing as to how they can slam sanctions on us. But this time around, we're going to discuss now as to how we can slam sanctions on other people. So that's the shift. That's the shift now. Besides, also we'll be talking about, the United States of America has reversed its visa reciprocity schedule for Liberia, extending the validity period for certain non-immigrant visas from 12 months to 36 months. Somebody was saying this is the first of its kind since they were born, And also we'll be looking at two lawmakers pushing separate bills seeking to establish War Crimes Court and the Special Economic and Corruption Crimes Court. We'll be looking at that. It's good that we'll have a law student also part of the panel. Let's try to welcome Moses Sandy before we can begin our discussion. Moses, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you, Saba. And thank you, Honorable Morbat. Mr. Famula, it's a pleasure. The people in Liberia, I also want to say thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm hearing echo in the background. I think it's from your end, right? Someone else to mute. So it is good to be back. I look forward to another fruitful and rewarding discussion. Thank you.
Okay, Moses, thank you very much for joining us. Please share the show. We want to share the show. We are streaming live tonight on Pram FM Morovia 105.5. Again, Pram FM Morovia 105.5. You can watch it online there. Also, we are streaming live on our Facebook page. That is the Nighttime Heat Facebook page. You just go to where they have the search and then you tap Nighttime Heat. You're going to watch us online. We are also streaming live on our YouTube channel. That's the Nighttime Heat YouTube channel. Again, go to where they have the search and of course you just tap Nighttime Heat. You're going to watch us on YouTube. So, gentlemen, tonight let's get into our discussion. And of course, our first topic on the review is is looking at the political and tribal implications of the removal of women pay from the Ministry of Lands, Mines, and Energy. We all woke up to that news about women's pay, dismissal or sacking. There was no reason though, but people have been making their own research. Likewise, some of us have been making our research, trying to establish contact with those close to the presidency. So we'll be coming out to give our version. But let's begin with you, Representative Sumo Morba. You heard the news about the removal of women pay. What's your reading? When you heard, what sort of investigation you conducted? What did you hear? You from the Parliament, from the House of Representatives?
All right. I would just like to look at it now, not from the end of the House. I would like to look at it from my own perspective, because this issue of dismissal is a high-profile dismissal. It's not something that we just look at it commonly. But for me, it's singular two things. One, what is singular is that there's a shift in political alliance. It could create anything. It could harm the process of unity party. Two, what I look at again, it could be government intent to have asset control or absolute control over key sector. So I look at it from those 2 points. And I would say this, from the issue of the tribal sentiment, I sometimes, because what it did, they took women pay out, and I'm sure they brought in another person from Nima County. So I think there won't be a conflict there, because when you take someone out from a local jurisdiction like Nima County and you replace someone for the Southeastern Belt and place them in, what happens is the county fee that you are marginalizing them from being represented. But I think what the government did, they took him out. I don't know for what reason. I would not like to discuss it until the president come of it, because I don't believe in allegation. I don't believe in propaganda and states. So until the president those reason, then I support it. But I think there won't be a conflict. They took him out and they brought one thing right from Nima County. So I think there's a balance, and I think it should be the best way to go about it. But for those reasons, I cannot discuss it. Yeah.
Okay. Let's hear from you, Reverend Dr. Christo from the Council of Churches. Your institution being a more cautious of society. Let's hear from you. What's your reading?
Okay. Thank you very much, Saba. It's a concern. I've known Honorable William P. To be a statesman, a gentleman who projected a sense of integrity. And I follow him for some time, but the issue here is that maybe we don't know the in-depth of it, but I think people should be able to know what really happened. You can't just maybe dismiss just like that. There should be a reason for dismissal. And the issue of tribal lineage or tribal lineage, I don't want to bring it into play. But because if you bring the issue of tribal lineage, then it presupposes that somebody from a tribal lineage from a political end wants a representation of their kinsmen, or maybe who listen to them mainly. And so I don't want to buy into that. Liberians are Liberians, and we should be able to support each other if along we project good characteristics. So I think until we can be able to find out what is the clue of his dismissal, I tried calling Honorable William P. I have not gotten him also. I wanted to follow up on that. I saw a post of his wife also, trying to stand by her husband. We may not know the detail of his dismissal. However, I think if it was done in good faith, then we must be able to praise the leadership of the country. But if there was any political manipulation into the process, I think the country needs to be informed as regard to what really happened, because some of us know him to be the good gentleman, but some people can change because of power, and if power corrupted him, then let us know how this thing happened. But as you know, the leader has the prerogative to appoint and to dismiss. To appoint most of the time, sometimes even the House, the Senate will reject. But the issue of dismissal, whenever the issue of dismissal come about, then it creates that public concern, and it raises the bar of integrity. Maybe there's something, that is wrong that this person have done. That's the reason why they were dismissed. So the public just need to know if there's for administrative reason. We need to know what's the administrative reason and other things like that. If the person need to be prosecuted, then they should be able to face persecution. But if it is just based on because of prerogative, then let the people know that you have a prerogative to appoint and dismiss.
Okay, all right. So let's hold you there and hear from Mr. Moses Sandy. Sandy, since the news about the dismissal of William P. and others came up, although the government could not, or they didn't give any sort of reasons for that dismissal. What have you been reading? What been coming to your mind, Moses?
Well, so I've gotten different feedback or reaction regarding the dismissal. But first thing that I would like to state, and my brother family can also speak to that, the Constitution is on the side of the appointing power. That's the president. Article 56 says that the president appoints at will and dismisses at will. I'm making wake up in the morning and look at you and say, oh, man, you're wearing a brown coat too. So you are dismissed. That's enough. They may can call you to the office, y'all had, lunch together. And the man said, but man, don't go back to that ministry. And you say, why? You say, well, I appointed you. So that how much authority the person has. Now let's come back to some of the things we've been hearing.
Mhm.
I've heard people talking about competence. Some are saying that the former minister was not up to the task. Uh, he's not a geologist, and in order to succeed at that level, you must have some background, some level of education. You know, uh, with reference to the sector you're going to manage.
Mhm.
You're talking about mineral, you know. So having education in that area is critical. But we must also agree that in Liberia, when it comes to political appointments are not based on competence. Most appointments in the Liberian government are not based on competence. Appointments in the Liberian government are based on political patronage, friendship, family connections. That's how appointments are made. And when you look around you, there are several people in the country that are displaced. So for someone to argue that, well, woman wasn't qualified for the position, then maybe the person doesn't really know Liberia. However, I'm one of those who believe that people appointed to positions should have some level of education in the discipline, areas to which they are being appointed, because that can really cut down on waste. The time it takes to train one man to get to performance level, that can be minimized when you are appointing people who are qualified to specific areas. Now, let's come to the travel issue. I know when the minister was dismissed, he was replaced immediately by somebody who also comes from the colony. So this is the travel card. This is the travel card now from Nima Colony. I don't know how credible is this, but I heard that the person, the
Tingwe.
minister designated Timber,
Yeah, yeah.
is a friend of the vice president. And the vice president played a critical role in his nomination. I can be definitive about this because I'm an outsider. I don't know what is happening in the inner cycle of government. But if this is the case, then I see limited come 2029, I see some rapes. Don't forget now, Samuel Koga, the vice president, uh, are not, in good book. They have their own differences between. Uh, and now you have another man, from the same country going against another man from the country. Women pay a girl man, another girl man again. So you see that can create some, tribal conflict in the county. So let me stop there. So this is my own reading into that.
Okay, Moses, thank you, thank you. I think you are getting close to the outcome of my own investigation as well. You are getting close to that, but you still far from there. Let me hear from you, Edwin.
So like Brother Moses rightly said, I think the Constitution gave the president exclusive right to appoint and to dismiss. They work all of the people in the executive, with the exception of maybe few persons who are on this sort of called tenure.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of the cabinet officials work at the will of the president. The president can get up tomorrow morning and say, I dream about Minister Gafuan in my sleep. He was running behind me with, knife. So he's dismissed.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have to explain to nobody because they work at his will. Now, with the issue of women, I think
at his will and pleasure.
Of course, yes, 100%.
Okay,
You're right. You're right.
With the issue of the former minister, the only thing that I want to say, he's a geologist. He's a trained geologist. The only thing that I know, he has not had the opportunity to work before at the Ministry of Mines. So the experience aspect is not there. Unlike this guy called Tengbe, who has worked before at the ministry as, I think, even assistant minister or deputy minister before at that Ministry of Mines. And but Moses is 100% right. The reason why you have most of these institutions underperforming is because we're putting people in positions who are not expertise, who doesn't understand this sector. So at the end of the day, when we sit on the table to negotiate these mineral agreements, when we sit on the table to negotiate with our counterpart, we are not at that level. All right? Because, I came to understand this thing when I came from school newly, and I will just divert, a little bit. When we came from school, we're like the first batch of Liberians that went to school to learn about the oil and gas thing. So we came back from school, there was a GOC meeting, or the oil company, the National Oil Company and the International Oil Company. They will always have these meetings. I remember I went to South Africa, sitting in a room, just having the common, engagement or so. A Nigerian guy stood up and said, this is the first time that Liberians are asking the right questions. For the past 5 years, we've been dealing with NOCAL. The guys come here, they just sit here and just, wait for the end of the meeting and ask us, where's our sitting fees? As they get it, they're waiting for us to take them to shopping and do XYZ. He said, I'm an African. I feel belittled sitting among these white people, and they're actually saying to you guys indirectly that you know nothing about this sector. And actually that's where it dawned on me that there is some level of positivity you get if you have the right people in the right place. Because when these discussions are going on, they understand it. And a lot of people will come and argue, oh no, you don't have to be an engineer to be, you don't have to be a geologist to be at the Ministry of Mines as minister or so. Even at the Ministry of Public Works, they will say, oh no, you don't have to be an engineer. But guess what? In as much as the technocrats will do all of the different stuff, the boss start with you. So if the technocrat is not sincere enough, he wants to actually connive with the people who come in to do the investment, the country gets screwed up. Because you depend on their technical expertise to make the decision. But if you were technically inclined in the sector, anything that goes on behind there with your people down the line before it gets to you, in fact, you will look at it and say, no, man, look, guys, this is a joke. I don't think this thing is right.
Because you understand the area.
Because you understand the area.
You are school.
And this is how the country keep going down that line.
Okay.
Onto the issue of the tribal politics, for me, I don't see it being a major player. Reason for that is that, like you said, they were very smart. The decision makers were very smart. They said, okay, Mr. President, we agree that you take a Nimba May from there, but please make sure you bring a Nimba May back. So that's why, when they got him out, you brought in Tengbe so that you balance the political scorecard. So you don't see any future political rift.
Okay, so let's go there. When the incident, when the announcement was made, the first thing we did the next morning was to contact Mr. Wilmot P. to ask him after what was happening, whether it was true or not.
He wouldn't tell you.
And Mr. P said he could not speak on it more and more.
He's a diplomat.
But the only thing he said, he was waiting for the message that the government would have put out. And so the message came out, and exactly what the government promised is what the government did. So he's not going to speak on that for now.
For now, yes.
Although in the future he will speak, but he's not going to speak on that for now. So I'm asking about the message, the congratulatory message posted by his wife. And he said, well, that whole post, And then I said, but that post there, it sends a message. He said, read the post and you will understand the message. And then we laughed. But then we didn't stop our investigation only at speaking with Mr. Wilmot P. We sought to go further, speaking with people close to the presidency. Let me say this, and for a fair disclosure. When we were at the Independent Star Radio, we were part and parcel of a couple of groupings, media groupings. I can remember the last tenure of former president, the last 6-year tenure of former President Sirleaf, were part of a couple of journalists, just a small number of journalists that were involved with some PR supported by the then Minister of Justice at the time, Christian Atta.
Yeah.
So we understand how the Unity Party works. We know many of them. We know their thinking. We know how they do things. We know the strength of the Unity Party. In fact, some, were even trying to misinterpret that. Some of us were aligning with the Unity Party, and which we said, no, we are not aligning, but we're just providing some, professional service. The thing is that in every government, let me say this, in every government, it is clear, and that is happening within the Unity Party as well. The Unity Party's strength is what we call propaganda. The Unity Party doesn't have any other strength rather than propaganda. What is happening in the Unity Party is that there are individuals in the party who we call the grabbers, and another group of people in the party who we call the protectors. The grabbers, they make their way around to the president, taking news to the president, and pushing their own interests because they have some exterior motives. They got an agenda that they want to achieve, and so they go around the president and giving news to the president. Mr. President, Edwin or Representative Small or Reverend Dr. Tor is not in your interest, and so they carry those sort of news to the president so as to gain favor. That was the grabbers there. They got another group of people in government, and they are part of also the Unity Party government. They call them the protectors. Those people, their intention is to protect the legacy of the president. Their interest is to see the government achieve. So that's the category of people Wilmer Pay and others find themselves. But there are others who got ambition. They're looking at 2029, and so they want to do all they can to advance the president, and at the end of the day, they achieve their objectives. They're part of the grabbers. So what has happened is that Wilmer Pay, since he has been appointed at the Ministry of Lands and Mines, Wilmer Pay has been under intense pressure.
Yeah.
Because you see, at that Lands and Mines, it's like a gold mine. You're sitting there as minister, you have the authority to issue licenses. And I mean, it comes with resources. Besides, you got the opportunity also to sign major concession agreements that value millions and some billions as well. So that place that Wilmer Pay he was under serious pressure. He was being asked to take decisions like decision of the rental allegedly, and he rejected. So he has been under serious pressure at that place. Now, the man was being named to replace Wilmer Pay. He was then before part of the Unity Party. In fact, he was part of the review committee. We did our own investigation. Like I said, I know the Unity Party very well, and that's the reason why some of their colleagues say, "Oh, someone can't come because he worked for the CEC." So we know the Unity Party. We've been around the Unity Party for quite a long time. This guy used to be part of the CEC. Part of the Unity Party. In fact, he was part of the review committee. He was placed on a committee, McToneke Timber. And while on a committee, again, reportedly, he decided to give his own support to the CEC. So with that, he fell off with the president. So at the very get-go of this government formation, his name surfaced from the angle of Nimba County Authority. I don't remember from the office of the vice president or wherever. His name surfaced to come in as Minister of Lands and Mines and Energy. Unfortunately, because he fell out with the president rejected that
and brought Pay
on board. On grounds that Pay has been around the party. Pay is a strategist for Unity Party. Pay has been the chairman. He's a hardcore Unity Party partisan. So the president said, "Well, I cannot, forgo Pay for Martinique Timber." So Timber all along has been making his way and increasing his relationship with the vice president. So he has been around. Now that Wilmer Pay has been removed, which name do we hear? Martinique Timber. This is a guy who's been close to the vice president. So the tribal politics that could likely play that people don't know is that Pay is from the Gio tribe.
Mm-hmm.
Koga is from the Gio tribe.
Your tribe.
And as we speak, Koga and the vice president got some rough edges. So the vice president is dealing with that with Koga. Now another Gioga has surfaced, who is Pay. And with what happening, there were lots of expectations that the number 2 man, the vice president, would have spoken for Pay,
yes,
so that Pay can be pardoned and then retained in that position. But that didn't happen. So it means he have fell off with Pay. Now that's the second Gioga he have fell off with. Do we see, gentlemen, with what I've explained, what could be the political implications there? Moses, let me begin with you. For maybe the vice president in 2029, we have Koga, who he has rough edge with. We have Pay now, who has also come into the limelight. We have the TMC taking part of Nima County, bring all the Canada taking part of Nima County. Let's hear from you, Moses. What sort of political chemistry would let them be played? And do you think the vice president position is weakening, or is building his position still in Nima? Let's hear from you, Moses.
I mean, just from your explanation and what I told you earlier, now you have a rift. And if this problem is not resolved, the situation in 2029 will worsen. Don't forget, Nima County plays a critical role in deciding who becomes president of the Republic of Liberia. So if you have and Wema Pay taking a position, now the vice president and his other people will take another side. Now the county is going to be divided. The votes in Nima will be divided. So this is the political angle to it. I think. Go ahead.
So you think maybe the vice president is not really playing that, calculating well, so as to maintain his relationship with Koga and already that slipped with Koga, but you think he didn't calculate well to maintain his relationship with Pay ahead of 2029?
So this is a very critical matter, because you hold Mr. Famula, he said former Minister Pay studied geology, but he lacks the work experience. And he was put in charge of a key sector in the country. The sector must survive. You do not need a novice over there. That is where patriotism comes in, the love of country. So I'm just being hypothetical. If the former minister was not up to it, I don't think we should put personal ego before the interests of the country. Again, this is the message that needs to be sold to the people of Nima. This thing here was not about Gio and Man. It was not about Gio. It was about Kun. It was about the good of this is where the problem is.
Dr. Tour, we're getting some noise from your back. Kind of adjust. We're getting some noise from your back. Yes, Moses, go ahead.
Yeah, I said this is where Governor P. Arrow really has to step in and try to soften the ground in Nimba. They should not be seen as Gio versus the sitting vice president. If the decision to replace Mr. Cole, the former minister was based on performance, and let that be the message. If it is tribalized, I can tell you, come 2029, there will be a significant challenge in Nimba for the ruling youth. Yeah.
Okay, let's go in there and hear from Representative Smoke Mulba. Mulba, you listen to our own investigation and what we know, our version. What is your take? What do you think may likely happen in 2029, especially with Koga being a factor, he's no longer a very good friend of the VP. Likewise, now another guy has been affected. Wilmer Pay, and there was much expectation that apparently he would have been spoken for, but that didn't happen. So it means that I'm sure he's not happy as to where he is. What do you think could be the political implication for maybe for 2029 for whoever that has ambition from the party?
All right, Sober, and to the rest of the panel, what I would like to look at, I would like to look at it from two dimensions. One, I would like to look at it from the president endpoint, because he's the head, the political leader for Unity Party, and I want to look at it from the county view, right? What I noticed from the president is that he believes in efficiency and results. So if you cannot give the president a result, then I know to keep you there. So in order to get results, those achievable results, you have to be one that have experience. You have to be one that is qualified for the job, that have those credentials. So I think I've been seeing Wilmer Pay. I dealt with Wilmer Pay 2-3 different locations during our hearing. And what I observed, I think it's important to say this. From the initial stage, I said that. I talk about the asset control of the sector, right? I think sorry to say this, I think Wilmer Pay may not have that asset control, because you have to have experience. You cannot lack the experience and you think that you can have that managerial skill over whatsoever entity you have, because that's a money sector. And
that's the political side. There, we are also looking at the travel implication that this will have, and maybe for
I'm going to now Sober. For the travel side, I would like to quote unquote look at the county itself from the past. I don't just grade people from the present. I look at from the past, doing other political environment, other political setting. From the past, what I gather from this county is that they are unified. They are integrated in one when it comes to politics. So with all of the regions, I deal with a lot of local members in my county. They can have different views, but when it comes to a specific issue, they keep the unity. So there is no way that replacing somebody because they are not 100% qualified based on experience with another person from Nima County.
No, I come in. Let's be clear here. The press release that came out from the executive mansion, they didn't say that Wilmer Pay was being removed for underperformance, no, or for not being qualified, no. So let's not speculate that, so it doesn't appear, so we don't give people wrong information from this program.
Yeah, so I come in Sober. We have in every setting, because I'm from the management end, right, in public policy. When it comes to the setting where we talk about employer and employee, the employer will get rid of the employee if they are not efficient, right, or they are corrupt. There should be an outlining issue, right? And I just don't want to go to corruption, because I know the character of Wilmer Pay, except when you tell me that he changed. I know what Wilmer Pay stands for, the NPA. I know what he really stands for. So, but I would like to hook it towards experience. I don't want to talk about the credential aspect. He may have the master degree and whatsoever. But when it comes to the experience, I think he lacks the experience. That be the issue.
So let's go to, okay, you made your point on it already.
So
let's hear from you.
Yeah, so let me just come in quick. First of all, like we said, the president don't have to give anybody any reasons for leaving anybody from their post, right? But I don't think we should jump the gun now, because even with the dismissals that were made, I think one of the persons were brought back into government. So there's a likelihood that the president may have removed Wilmer Pay from the Ministry of Mines to send him to another area.
I said that.
That there is a likelihood. So there is no rift here. And let me say this. I know the vice president very well. All right. And he's not one person that you would say that he has some issues with Wilmer Pay. And let us not get it wrong. Wilmer has been one of the firebranders of the Unity Party. That guy has been one of the pillow behind even the Joseph Boakais today that you see. When President Sirleaf had issues with the United Party, it was one person that stood behind Vice President Boakai, was Raymond Pay. Up to the time, even when they were in opposition, even with the issue of the Vani Sherman issue, everything, Raymond Pay has been one of the flag brother. So, like I say, we shouldn't jump the gun. I don't think he's been trashed out, we don't need you or XYZ. He may have been recalled to say, okay, let's prepare him to go to another area, because maybe because of the experience, there are a lot of issues here and there at the Ministry of Mines. Let's get him and probably send him maybe somewhere else. Like, we know that he can use his political understanding, his influence.
You cannot dodge that. You would just do everything.
Bossman, yes. I know that. All right. So, but it's kind of important also, because there are optics. Whether we like it or not, once the person is removed without no genuine explanations, there will be optics. People will speculate, but in the few weeks, we will know exactly what they've done with him, or he still has a place within the government. But I think, and I know for sure, that even the vice president will prevail on the president that we have to find a suitable place so that we can be able to put Minister Pay back.
If that didn't happen then, you think it can happen now?
It depends now. It depends. 1 minute. It depends.
If the president didn't prevail on the president then, and Montunike Timba was placed in the position.
No, but that's two things here we are saying. One is experience. Because look, there are a lot of moving activities that are happening within the mining sector. As we speak, the extension of the mineral development agreement with ArcelorMittal is on the table. You need experienced negotiators. You need people who understand the sector, because it is believed that we've been cheated over the past 20 years or so. There are other new deals. The one with this guy, Avan Hogue. A lot of things coming on the table that you need somebody who have been in that ministry that understand the workings of the ministry to move it forward. So it could have been that the vice president would have gone and said,
"No, let me ask you a question."
Yeah.
Somebody who was reportedly recommended from the very get-go of this government to serve in that position, and the president rejected him. Somebody who was initially part of the Unity Party Review Constitution Committee, and then later on started giving support to Unity Party, allegedly. He came back on board. He was recommended again for the second time. What message of that?
So
what do you think interplayed?
No, so that's why this president said that in as much as we won as Unity Party.
I'm coming. I'm asking you because it's possible that the individuals recommending him constantly for the second time now may have some interest in him and interest in the Mazda energy. So what is the, do you think there's no interest in keeping him at a place or recommending him for the second time?
No. So we all are just presuming. We were trying to actually dive into the mind. I'm coming out.
Not assuming. You're quite aware that Montunike Timba was part of the review committee of the Unity Party.
Of course, yes.
He then began to give support to CDC. As a result, he was recommended and he was rejected, right?
Yes.
You're quite aware of that.
Of course, yes.
The Montunike Timba again has been nominated. What do you see there? Is
and like I said,
interest?
No. Like I said, we are at a very critical stage of that ministry, where we have major concessions are supposed to be put on the table, reviewed by expertise. So if this guy who has served there before, I'm coming. No.
Can I answer you?
Yeah, you still got your question. Yes, go ahead, Red.
Yeah, usually in management, right? When you have, I keep saying in recruitment, when you have two options, you get close to one because the option will be based on the CV. One will have a huge credential, the other may have experience, but the credential may be less, qualification may be less. So sometimes you go for the huge credential.
I'm concluding this program. Let me ask you the question. You're not getting the question. This is a man who has been named to replace Wilmot Pay, right? Like we said from the very get-go, this same man was recommended, but rejected by the president at the time, because then he fell short of the president's expectation.
So
Now
by
he
that
has
time,
one minute, Red.
That doesn't mean he's not competent.
I'm coming. 1 minute. No, we're not looking at competence.
No,
We're
but-
looking at interest.
No, but
Now,
stop.
I'm coming. The same man has been recommended for the second time to replace a woman pay. Don't you see interest by those behind the recommendation to have a grip on the minister of labor?
Perhaps based on experience.
Of course, but
So you don't see any interest there.
and
I'm coming.
Experience. So let's try the experience in this conversation.
I'm asking about interest. So you don't see any interest there.
no, I don't see it.
Okay.
They are all united by the same. They are all
You see,
united by
on the primary council, let's hear from Moses. Moses.
Yeah. What I would like to say on this, in order for us to move fast, all of you have struck a very salient point. The Ministry of Mines and Energy. It's very important.
Mhm.
Very important.
It's a
For the
gold mine.
economy of Liberia. It's a gold mine.
If I have ambition in 2020, I'll be seeking to. Somebody recommending something. So go ahead.
Yeah, so if my assumption is right, well, what is being reported, the decision to remove and replace the former minister has something to do with competence, then I will go for that.
Okay.
I don't think we should have a novice at that ministry, and I don't intend to put the former minister down. But the four of us here, one of the greatest challenges we have in
Ask you, Moses, let me ask you. Just let me hold you.
Yeah.
Moses, the question I'm asking is that the man who has now been named to occupy that place was from the get-go of this government recommended to occupy that place. Unfortunately, he fell off reportedly with the president. He was part of the review committee and later giving support to the CDC. So the president was not comfortable with him. Now, this is the same man, after Wilmot Pay has left, again, he has been recommended. Don't you see interest? Those behind the recommendation.
Do you go for their interest? Whoever that put that recommendation has interest in the minister designate.
That's a fact.
It's an interest. You know, look, my man, you're my man. I will make sure that you get a job. Interest. That's like
But Moses, the interest is simply based on the qualification.
No,
Because-
we are not talking about qualification now. We're talking about
Yes,
interest.
Saba.
One minute.
In reality, will have interest.
Go ahead, Renato.
Yes, so thank you very much. For me, I have a different look at this. I don't think it's an issue of competence, because if we look at the issue of competence, I think Mr. Wilmot Pay bring competence to the ministry. The first SONA report of the president reflected report from Lands, Mines and Energy as one of the Mines and Energy as one of the ministry that projected in terms of the output, one good output of the president SONA. So and then you go back to what they have done there administratively, try to transform the place. Even the survey that was conducted with regard to the minerals and other things that came up. So I don't think it's the issue of competence. So maybe it's far beyond that. It could be the issue of people having perception issue. But I think it might be far from that. But it's a president prerogative, as we underscore in terms of constitutionality. But I think that the whole issue maybe Wilmot Pay is silent on the issue. It's because maybe it's more of political. It's more political than than the issue of competence.
Okay.
So yeah, it's more political than competence.
Okay. So, gentlemen, before we can transition, let me read this post by the wife of Raymond Payne. So I'm coming, Red. I'm coming. Let me read this.
We listen to the doctor. He shouldn't be the one to conclude this. When I agree to that.
No, we are not concluding. He's getting
right? He lay a basis. We need to say something sober.
All right, go ahead quickly.
Yeah, I listened to the doctor. He said it's something the Reverend. He said it's something more than that. It could be political, right? So my issue is when it was political. Remember now, everybody, Umope being the chairman for the party. So he should have his set of people around him. So if it were political, but now we'll be hearing Unity Party speaking that out. But I think it's not political. Something is in there. Yeah, that's all.
When I started initially, I made reference to two kinds of individuals, people in the government. The guy, the protectors who are concerned about the legacy of the president. They don't have any ambition of wanting to be president. They have the grabbers. And so Womope has been going on, been ongoing pressure at that place. Apparently by some of the grabbers who got ambition, wanting the presidency in 2029, and they want somebody who they think they can influence, whose decision they can influence at the last mass energy. It could be that. But let me read this also. Let me read the post made by Mr. Payne's wife. Thank you for making me a very proud wife. Your children are equally very proud of you. Of course, your God is happy to have a child like you. Choosing integrity over wealth is the best choice any true Christian can make. You are a great statesman, so posterity will judge you kindly. Thank you for a job well done, honey. That a man's wife saying that he chose integrity over wealth. Moses, let's hear from you. What's your reading of that?
Well, it is very difficult to read into that because I know little about what she's talking about. From what she's insinuating, I'm sure you guys will agree with me that the decision to let her husband go has been based on the position that he took. I don't know whatever that position is, so I would not like to elaborate further. She's entitled to her opinion. Maybe the husband told her something that we in the public do not know. So I can say she's right or she's not right, but I can tell you, she believes her husband. Yeah.
Okay. Representative Mulder, let's hear from you. What's your
I got a different view when it comes to that. We are all men, and I think all of us here, we are married. And remember now, women are emotional people, very emotional when it comes to these things. So I think she was just reacting to the propaganda on the social media. Because when this story came out, remember now you have opposition, you have other political party who will try to inframe this thing, make it look different. So we saw on the social media that certain amount of money that Womope took at the $370,000, right, from an unknown source. So being the wife, Womope will not be the one to speak, but being the wife, believe in your husband, you believe in what he stands for, right? I think it's her right to come out and speak against this thing. I think she was not speaking against the government, but she was speaking against the propaganda outside there on the social media. Thank you.
Okay. Reverend Tom?
Yeah, listening to the wife of Pay, I have a different reflection to that. The woman was speaking the heart of her husband. They have close conversation on this issue. I want you to know the issue of family. So the wife and the husband have the discussion on this thing. Like Sobo, you are talking about this issue with those who are the protector and those who are the spoilers, and you have spoilers, you have connectors, all the different people you form themselves into institutions, either government or various institutions. So the issue of pressure or whatever that comes from whatever way, this discussion may have been going on, and she might be aware of that. The social media, there will be a lot of perception issues that will run from one end to another. But you see, sometimes it is good to follow people and to know who they are. As I said, sometimes people change. Sometimes people change also. But and if they change, then we should be also to be aware also why this thing happened. Because if I know somebody, I know you to be a good man, I know you to be an honest person, and then all of a sudden people just just say something about you like that, I cannot just make a preclusion about you and say definitely it has to do, maybe it has to do with the mere competence, or it has to do with something, maybe he's not performing well, or maybe it's all just perception. But I think the woman spoke the heart of the family, and she stated that your children are all proud of you. So I mean that she spoke the heart of the family, and that was a message that resonated with me also.
Okay.
Yeah, so Slobo, let me say this. I agree with Honorable Moluba. You see, these things, when it happen, sometimes it is a shock. And because you see all of these different things on the internet or so, somebody accusing their husband or so, she may want to respond to it. Woman is a politician. President Joseph Numa Boakai knows women's pay very well in terms of character. He just didn't meet women pay yesterday. They've gone far with more than 12, 13, 14 years in the same political party. He knows women pay stands when it comes to issues. He knows even during the Madam Salif regime, when this young man when people in the Madam Salif government were trying to compromise him, he stood his ground because he has integrity. So nobody can say to us here that people from within the system wanted him to get compromised and do as rising. I don't think.
So let me ask this question. Thank you for saying this.
Yes.
I long time wanted to hear this from you and the rest of the panelists. Now, with the sort of person you know, who Mope is, a man who stands for integrity, do you think he was a victim of any conspiracy?
I don't think so.
Why?
And that's why we keep saying, right? It is the president's prerogative to do research for his government. And I say probably all of us here jumping the guns. The president may have felt that, look, the Ministry of Mines is moving at another pace where we need a technocrat who understands the ministry in there. Look, there are other jobs that are opening around the globe, including a seat on the Security Council. Do we know what President Boakai wants to send?
Good. Thank you.
We don't know. Womope is a diplomat. Womope is a politician. So all of us just try to speculate. Tembe, as I said, worked in that ministry as director of mines. He became assistant minister. He became deputy minister of mines. So he's best suited now as a man that you want to
take why was he rejected initially?
In the initial stage, the president has to be able to satisfy certain key people. Now, let me just end all this, right? Now, we try to insinuate. I sat with Womope before, and I knew Womope stands when it comes to the ArcelorMittal MDA. I've spoken with him a couple of times, right? I knew his stance. Sometimes some of these things could be political on a tune that we don't know. Maybe he has become a hardliner that said, no, we can't do it this way. I will not agree because of his stance.
That's the reality you are talking about.
All right.
And so somebody who,
no.
So I will not agree to that.
You don't agree? Okay, like business.
Don't do that, Soba.
All right, gentlemen, let's move forward. Let's move forward. Let's start a transition. Liberia has secured another diplomatic milestone. The country has secured some nominations to chair and co-chair the U.S. Sanction Committees. Let me read this story quickly, and then we can discuss it. Liberia has achieved a significant diplomatic milestone, securing nominations to chair and co-chair United Nations Sanctions Committees. The development marks a notable shift in the country's global influence, positioning it as a vital architect for international peace and accountability. As chair of the UN Sanctions Committee on Sudan, Liberia will guide the committee's agenda, manage complex negotiations, and determine the scope and application of sanctions aimed at restoring peace and protecting civilians in Sudan. As co-chair of the Sanctions Committee on the Democratic Republic of Congo, Liberia will address persistent instability, illicit trade of conflict minerals, and armed group activities in the DRC, requiring intricate knowledge of regional dynamics and a commitment to enforcing accountability. As co-chair of the Sanctions Committee on Yemen, Liberians will help steer international efforts to enforce arms embargoes, combat terrorism, financing, and promote dialogue in Yemen's protracted civil conflict. These nominations are pending final approval from 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council. If confirmed, Liberia's role will be aimed at shaping global governance, facilitating sensitive discussions, engaging stakeholders, and influencing decisions on international sanctions. Let's stop it at that. Let's hear from you, Representative Morba. Let's begin with you on this one. What's your takeaway? Before then, Liberia was the one being spoken about to add sanctions. But this time around, Liberia is on the committee to discuss the sanctions of other people, the sanctioning of other people. Let's hear from you.
So, Saber, I would like to say a few things here. First of all, I would like to begin this with a caution. So let's place it this way. Minister Yanti is there. Why can't the president dismiss Minister Yanti? Because she's doing well. She's doing extremely well when it comes to the foreign ministry. So from my end, Saber, I hope we have more ministers like this who go beyond the line day and night, right, for the Liberian people to lobby it outside. And when you hear me before saying that this constant travel is like waste of money, right? So I always say that those that should go outside to lobby, because we lawmakers, we should be sitting in our chamber making law, not to go outside to lobby, right? We can go outside to build our capacity, to come back and make more law, good laws for our people. But to have this lady, look, a server, right? I'm lack of words now, right? I give her the credit. I give her a thumbs up, right? She's like Ellen now to me. She's like Ellen Justice Lee to me, a female leader, right? I think she's doing more for herself. When it comes to a praiser among the minister, we should at least give her a praise. She's doing extremely well.
Okay. And then let's hear from you, Reverend Dr. Crystal. What's your takeaway? Reverend Dr. Crystal, kindly unmute.
Come back.
Kindly unmute. Okay.
Yeah, I unmute.
Just go ahead quickly. What's your takeaway?
Yeah, come back, please.
I read this statement about Liberia securing another milestone, securing co-chair and chairing of UN of the United Nations Security Council Sanctions Committee. Rather, what's your takeaway with this latest achievement by Liberia?
You're talking about in terms of the Security Council and that of the war economic crimes.
No. I want you to read a statement that was just you didn't listen to the read of the statement. Okay, let me leave you there and go to Mr. Sandy quickly. Moses, can you unmute?
Yes. Oh, sorry. I have my microphone off. I think that is good for image building. It means that Liberia is making a comeback politically, and I hope that will be able to perform and meet the expectation of the United Nations. This is good. You remember 6 years ago, we were in the media for terrible reasons. Our government was referred to as a kleptocracy. We topped the list of U.S. sanction list. So to see us now sitting at a table to decide who gets sanctioned or just it means a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has a very good team in Minister Beslow, who for many years served at the United Nations, and also Deputy Minister for International Cooperation, Dr. Ibrahim Nying, who was nurtured by a patriot, Dr. Amos Sawyer. When during the lifetime of Dr. Sawyer at the Governance Commission, he made sure that Ibrahim Nying was, one of the young guys that he was, grooming, sending him to all of these different AU missions and the other stuff. And today we can see the payback. So that comes in with experience and qualifications. But on the issues of Liberia getting a seat, to chair the Sanction Committee for Sudan, South Sudan, and co-chair for Yemen, I think it speaks a volume that our country is back at the table where key decisions are being made. Liberia is a founding member of almost all of the international organizations, even including the League of Nations that gave birth to the United Nations. So it shows that today, again, we can be proud as Liberians that we are taking our seat. And for the next 4 or 5 years, we need to maintain this kind of diplomatic outreach. So today, as we even see, our president is in Paris. These are all of the different things. Like you rightly say, you have 5 permanent members of the United Nations. Mm-hmm. The president has reached out to 3 of them now as we speak. He went to China. He was at the China-Africa Summit. He went to the U.S. a couple of times, making sure to present the case of Liberia, that we are back. Yes, we may have gone down the line somewhere, but today we are back and we are ready to lead. Today he's in Paris, trying to engage another permanent United Nations security member, which is good for our country. So as we keep building up, you will see Liberia will keep ascending at that level. And today, again, we're also sitting on the Security Council as a non-permanent member. So I think we're moving in the right direction. And like the Honorable said, with the team at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, I think we as Liberians should be very proud of that team. And we should push them to do more so that our country can get recognized, so that we all can be proud to be Liberian again. Before we even started the show, you talked about the issue of the U.S. Embassy. Mm-hmm. Do you know with just the outbreak of that news, how many people in West Africa wants to be a Liberian?
Okay,
that's the part of it.
We haven't reached there. But gentlemen, let's look at our capacity. Our ability to serve as chair and a co-chair. Let me read this first. As chair of the UN Sanctions Committee on Sudan, Liberia will guide the committee's agenda, manage complex negotiations, and determine the scope and application of sanctions aimed at restoring peace and to protecting civilians in Sudan. Gentlemen, from judging from our capacity, Moses, you think we're going to score some successes in that direction? Can't you unmute, Moses?
Moses is sleeping.
I think Moses is sleeping.
Moses.
I think he's resting. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Let's hear from you, Reverend Crystal. Let's hear from you.
He's tired. Okay.
Reverend Crystal.
Okay. I think, Saba, we as a country, we are trying to come back on the map. Our presence on the Security Council now is a reflection of our Lone Star being reflected And so I think with what you just read, I think the country is taking a different dimension. And I think that we should be able to support our government to make sure that we transition to the place that Liberia is supposed to be as the start of Africa. So the president and all of his predecessors, they have set the pace, and I think the government is moving in a direction that is worth commending. And we as the people, we must be able to also support that initiative.
Okay. Reverend, let me hear from you, Representative Small. Judging from our capacity, you think we're going to score successes in that direction? We're going to manage gender, handle complex negotiations. Do we have the capacity to?
So, it depends on the selection process. Who will represent us in the position? So I think again, I said that we have a very crack team from the Ministry of Finance. From the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So it's just like to work along with the crack team to look at more names to do the selection and make recommendations to the president. But I'm 100% sure we have people who are capable. Again, let me say this to our doctor, the Reverend. So why if the dismissal of the Minister for Lands and Mine, Wimape, was to get him out and send him on this mission? No one can tell. No one knows. So I think I trust the team. We only need a better selection process. Whosoever going should represent Liberia to the fullest, and it should be well equipped.
Okay. Edwin?
Yeah. I don't believe that Liberia has a capacity gap in that area. Okay. We've had a lot of Liberians who are international lawyers who have been involved with even our own conflict, pushing for transitional justice and other stuff. And when you look at all of these countries, these are war-ravaged countries. All right, Sudan, South Sudan, and then even Yemen. So Liberia does not lack capacity, and Liberians are some of the people who are very quick and smart to learn. So, like the Honorable said, if you draw a crack team of international lawyers who know all of these instruments, and there are couple of them, whether we like them or not, you can talk about this guy, Hassan Bility, the likes of Jerome Verdio, all of these guys who were around here. These are guys who actually sat around on the TRC and other people and other important people out there. I think they can make a good team. But again, it depends on what the team from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs will be looking for in these individuals. But I'm 100% sure that we can find them, nurture them, and send them forward, and they will make Liberia proud.
Okay, so gentlemen, let's try to transition now to treat this other discussion. This latest one regarding our president welcoming U.S. visa reciprocity decision extending validity to 36 months. Let's read this quickly and then we can all discuss it. President Joseph Imabogla has welcomed the decision of the United States Department of State to revise its visa reciprocity schedule for Liberia, extending the validity period for certain non-immigrant visas from 12 months to 36 months. In an official statement released today by the U.S. State Department, the United States government announced the decision of stay duration of various categories of visas for Liberians visiting the United States. Under the new policy effective immediately, Liberia applicants for B1 business, B2 tourism, and B1, B2 business tourism combination visas will now receive multiple entry visas valid for 3 years with no reciprocity fee attached for those who qualified. President Boga described the decision as a clear demonstration of the strong and enduring partnership between Liberia and the United States, grounded in mutual respect, shared democratic values, and common vision for progress. Now, let's leave it at that. Let's begin with you on this. What is your takeaway with this latest decision by the United States of America?
Yeah, sober. I think this is where I would deflect. Yeah,
It's not. It's
yeah, this is where. Yeah, this is where I would deflect. I will be. I will. I become a realist, right? I hope, and I hope that my brother Formula will try to align with me this time around because
No, I will not.
he did align during the first conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, you getting me right?
Go ahead.
So I hope it's something for nothing. This visa process thing, 1 year whatsoever. I hope it's something for nothing. Nothing.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Yeah. Let me I hope it's something for nothing, right? And not something for something. Because remember that I tell you about the gang guy for the MS Tech team, right? Yeah. They are proposer. I'm 100% sure they haven't gone through it yet. Whether we accept it, we approve it, I don't, So based upon the proposer, right? There are more benefit, there are more benefit coming. What could be the visa issue, and there could be a package. But my thing, when it's something for something, as it relates to the MS Tech thing, then I feel that the American government making a slight mistake. Whether they give me visa or not, they're making a great mistake. They're making a great mistake. Because I'm from district number 3, Maserati. Our people from district number 3 will not accept that. Because we are taking stay in the house, in the chamber. We are taking stay on that. When you want to send someone to us, a deportee, send someone with good character. Send a doctor. Send a nurse. But don't send someone to us that will spoil our children. That will create the environment where we have fear. So when it comes to that, whether they get 10-year visa, they get 5-year. I want you to carry it. They carry a 5-year visa and not move a visa. What I move by is what behind the visa. When it is free, thank you to America. But when something like the gang group, then I have issue with it. Yeah.
Okay, Representative. No, we are not allowed to speak. Reverend Christo, what's your take? Reverend To kind of on mute.
I hope To is not sleeping too.
No, yes, fine.
If I got you right, Sober.
About the visa.
I will extension the visa from 1 year to 3 years. I think we from the Council of Churches also we engaged the past 2019 with regard to what was the rationale beyond Liberia as one of the country in Africa, West Africa, that was and as an old friend of the United States, still benefiting from this 1 year visa issue. And so, as we were told, the historical narrative of a lot of Liberians going to America, the issue of people now returning, the issue of government meeting with some requirements with regard to the State Department rules and regulations, and so things are in this area. Eventually, there will be some changes that will be made. And so today, if there are changes made with regard to that, I think that we as a country making progress in this line. Issue of visa to America is the issue of visiting visa. I think the Liberians should be able to give some respectability to our own country and how we can come and rebuild our country. America should be a place where we can go and visit, but we should be able to give some attention to our country in terms of how we develop our country. For so many years, 100 plus, 70 plus years, we are stay underdeveloped, and we need as a country. It's not an issue of giving time for visa, but how can we look internally we improve our country moving forward. But we think the U.S. government, if they want to increase the time, that is good. For those who want to have visitations and other things, I think it's plausible. So, yeah, that's just my own take about that.
Do you share the views of our Representative Mulba that we're hoping that it is not tied to bringing in Garcia to the country? The guy who said he was on it, was part of the certain gang, that we've been talking
Allegedly.
about.
The ratification of that contract. I hope it's not tied to it.
Do you share the view that because I hear that you're hoping that it's not tied to it?
Yeah, so until that can be clarified, until the facts can be revealed, I cannot allude to that is factual. Is his opinion. I think maybe he's doing research, and if we can begin to find the facts about that, and then we can be able to support it. But in the meantime, I don't have anything much to say about that.
Okay, let us try to get Moses. Moses, are you up now?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, you were trying to catch some fish from the river.
Yeah, so like I said before, when you open the country up as a receiving country or a third country for deportees, America gave you some benefits that go along with that. Financial reward, aid, allowing Liberians to get extension for 3 years. Who knows? That could have been part of the negotiation. Now look, since you're trying to do this for us, we will also make things a little bit better for your people. That could have been one of those opportunities. But the only fear I have is that if now you open your country up for somebody with an alleged hardened criminal history, what happens? You take in the first person, maybe a few months again, then they come knocking on your door. Can you take in another 2 or 3? Can you take another 4 or 5? Then what will you do? You see, that's my concern.
Okay.
So I would differ with Honorable Moluba and Moses, and I think the other day the Deputy Minister for International Cooperation was on this radio, and he clearly stated that the individual we talked about had not been convicted of in any court in the world to be a criminal or so forth, and Liberia was taking him on humanitarian grounds. This young man left from his home country at the age of 12 years to go to America. But let's put that aside. There is a word in that particular press statement that says visa reciprocity. Like Reverend Two clearly stated, do we know that in the entire West African sub-region, Liberia is the oldest country in terms of relationship to the United States? In fact, we have direct link with them. They come up the ACS or so. But for many years, Liberia was one of the countries that its citizens going to America receive 1 year single entry visa. Ghanaian get 5 years visa. Gambians get up to 7 years visa. And the only reason for that is that because Liberia embassy in the United States were giving American citizens 3-month visa, 6-month visa, because we're doing it for the money. When Silva Blesso Yanti went to the United States and met with Marco Rubio, these things came out. If you want to reciprocate what we're doing for you, for your people, then you also have to do it. So if we're going to give you 3 years visa, what is it for Americans that are coming to Liberia? And this is where it came. This is where the idea of the reciprocity came in. We gave you 3 years, you gave our people 3 years, or you gave our people 5 years. This has nothing to do with Garcias or whoever is so. This is strictly based on the diplomatic front, and that's how it works. I've seen Indians in this country that goes to our embassy and get 10 years visa. I had a friend who was running a mobile phone company here, Indian Mobile. He went to the U.S. embassy here. He got 10 years visa. That's diplomatic reciprocity. It has nothing to do with whether you giving them something or they're giving you something. The way you treat their citizens, that's how you treat that's how they will treat you. Countries will give you visa waiver if you give their citizens visa waiver. We just had some agreement with Rwanda, where Liberians now can go to Rwanda visa free. So we have to be able to reciprocate the same. Just how we did within the West African sub-region. At a certain point in time, we were getting visa to go to Ghana. But the ECOWAS leader met and said, look, we are in the same sub-region. We don't need it. We need to travel across our borders visa-less. So we started traveling. So that's diplomatic reciprocity. It has nothing to do with what we made promises to bring Garcias, what are we supposed to bring in additional people. It has to do with how you treat their citizens, and that's how they will treat you. And also it has to do with the level of retainership. How many Liberians going to America to stay, and how many Liberians coming back?
So you differ with Moses that it has to do with something.
I differ with 100%, and I think even Reverend Tu also said the same thing, that at a point in time, they try to engage the American embassy. Why other countries nationals are getting 5 years, and we, being one of your older ally in the West African sub-region, getting 1 year single entry?
Okay.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, let's try to take some calls quickly. I know maybe Representative Mulba want to come in, but let me just announce the numbers first. 0886 050507. Again, 0886 050507. Or better still, 0778 460 793. Again, 0778 460 793. That's the numbers to call. And this alternative line, 0776 540 987. Again, 0776 540 987. That's an alternative line. 0886 050507 or 0778 460 793. 0778 460 793. Representative Mulba, do you agree with your colleague? He said it got
he disagree.
No, I disagree. And let me get the reason why
I disagree.
Why I disagree. Sober, we have to be real here to the Liberian people. I remember 2010.
Okay, before you come in, let's take this caller quickly. I know you're still continuing. Let's take this caller. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. How are you?
I'm okay. Let's hear from you quickly.
You know, the issue of America not giving up 5 years, 3 years. I heard the American ambassador that left Nigeria, the summer or so, said that because of the honesty, people lie to the people, they will not be truthful. And once you're not truthful to yourself, you're not be truthful to your nation. And those people support the innocent. So we just have to do better on our guys, making sure that information provided to the embassy is the right one. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Many thanks also. Many thanks. Yes, Rep 0886 050507.
Let me start with your caller first before I come to Formula. He said that people lie to people, Liberians lie to people based on the information given at the visa entry. But let me say this, Sober. In Ghana, the time frame was more. They have more time frame allotted to the Ghanaian. In Nigeria, we also have more time allotted to the Nigerian. So the Nigerian, Ghanaian, and Liberian, who lie more? Who is into the 419? You get that? So another aspect from Formula point. Formula said because of reciprocation. Let me say this. 2010, early started the negotiation. 2019, George, we are dead. 2024, I remember Kofa, right? Kofa tried pushing at the embassy because when we sent our book there, right? We gave some time, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, right? And it was less. The negotiation started, but it didn't work, right? Then Yanti came in. She took 1 whole year and a half, right? We almost going to 2 years. Then came the contract, came the agreement to bring in a notorious gang member. Right after the acceptance from the
But
Liberian.
man, you don't become and say alleged. Don't be calling men to throw up gang member.
Right?
Alleged.
Man, they alleged thing. It's on the social media, man. What a man, EJ. You know, alleged thing. I'm not going by alleged. I'm going by facts. So what happened right after the occasion when he was accepted by Liberia? 2 days after, we received an additional month place to visa. Then my brother Formula saying I have no interference. There is.
Okay.
And there was a good thing that went on the ratification. Even the contract that was signed, right? The contract that was signed, they are sending for ratification from the house.
The Abbey Oak?
Yeah, you saw it in the ground.
So let me just say something on that. Let me piggyback on what the Honorable said. The visa reciprocity. Don't forget, Liberia and the United States were in negotiation. America wanted Liberia's help. Now look, we are stuck with a situation. Will you open your door? No one yet can tell me that when you are negotiating things that are germane to you, you start step them. Liberia could have introduced that as part of the discussion. Now look, you're asking us to do this. Can you please do this for our country? America said, of course we will, because there is mutual. You look out for me, I look out for you. So you can't come here and say, oh, well, you know, that was the discussion. No. America needed help. America was craving for a country that would be willing to take in this man who has been accused of criminal activities. And Liberia says, yeah, my doors are open. Give me the money and also what? Give me visa reciprocity.
So my response to the both of you guys, Garcias have not even arrived in Liberia. He has not even agreed to come to Liberia. In fact, recent news is saying that he prefers going to Costa Rica rather than coming to Liberia. So it's 100% possible that he may not even come to Liberia because his lawyers, Chief are coming.
Let me announce my number.
Chief, his lawyers.
Number 0886-050507. Again,
His lawyers are still refusing for him to come to Liberia. And I want to repeat this. You can make your research, you can check anywhere. My very first time I right? When I was in school, I don't agree with you. When I was in school in the UK, we decided to take a break to go to the US to visit family.
All right. Before we continue, let me just take this call on the line quickly. Good evening. Good evening. Yes, sir. Let's hear from you.
Good evening, someone.
Yes, sir. Let's hear from you.
Thank you. I met the friend was even to know your very knowledge. My name is Prince Metal Cotton, and I do jump from my Pakistan to Jamaican residence. I listened to a very talking point, and as a rescue, most students in support of this woman, and son of Nima, I think he was measuring about the release of Remote Bay. I think the president.
Hello? 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 Gone. Seems like gone off. Yes.
Yes. So.
Yes. Hello. Okay. Seems like gone off. Yeah.
Yes. So as I was saying, right? When we apply for visas, as Liberian students to go visit our family along with our Ghanaian friends, we got to the embassy. I was given 6 months. My colleague from Ghana was given 4 years, 5 years. So I decided to ask. And this is where I actually get this whole thing from. That is based on what you do for the people. Citizens, that's what they do for you. It has nothing to do with whether you do this. If Liberia starts to give American citizens 6 month visa, in the next 2-3 years down the line, they will reduce it to the same 1 year single entry that they're giving us, because that's what we also give to them, because we were trying to make money out of those things.
Sober.
Yes, quickly.
Yes, Sober. Let me ask Formula.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I agree, right? To the issue of the visa, the increment of the time. But I would like to ask whether a typical Liberian of getting visa, whether a qualified of getting visa.
Now, there are different standards set for different countries as to why you get a visa, and you getting a visa is not a right. It is a privilege that you want to go to somebody's country. So getting a visa is at the discretion of the consular officer who's sitting there. And even they will tell you, even the consular who gave you that visa, it still does not give you right to entry into the United States. You can get a visa and get to the border, and they can cancel that visa and send you back. In fact, there is a situation with this 91-year-old Nigerian author, Wale Soyinka. His visa was canceled in New York, I think today. And the whole argument is that because he's been having some dissenting opinion on President Trump, he got the visa from Nigeria, he traveled, he reached to the United States, his visa was canceled, he was sent back. So it is not your right, it's a privilege.
Okay, thank you, I agree, it's a privilege. Sober, so let me come in now quickly with what I was about to say. So Sober, if before, when the U.S. embassy were giving visa, maybe in a daytime they gave to like 15%, just for 3 months, right? So
yeah,
you get a visa in a daytime they gave to 2% for 1 year. What's the impact?
Okay, so the issue about this is that the standard set of getting visa is not going to change based on what they did 1 year, what they even for 3 years, right? Now, when you get to the embassy, and this is what most of our people don't know. I've been to the US 5 times, right? And at no interval have I ever been denied visa. If you get to the US embassy, there are specific questions they ask you. You fill in a form online, right? That form is sent directly to the consular's office. They get it there. So you get there, they are asking you the identical thing you write. Sometimes people write, when they go to the embassy, they say different thing. So the consular there is not looking into your bank account, is not looking into your mind to know what you're saying. They're looking at the information that you presented to them. If you start to falter, to say different thing, a draw is second thought in their mind, saying, no, but this person is not genuine, all right? And secondly, you have to show a cost that when you go to that country, there is a reason why you have to come back. If you don't show that cost, they will never give you that visa.
Okay, gentlemen, let's try to end this program.
I'm not a visa counselor anyway, but
and
So
let's end the program. Get the back of each and every one of you. Moses, let's get a comment on the issues we're discussing today.
Okay. I would say it was a very great discussion, but I would like to wrap up by saying this. I want my brother family to understand that when people negotiate,
a lot of things happen.
You bring to that table a lot of things. And as part of the discussion for Garcia, for the acceptance of Garcia, Labrador could have proposed that look, America, can you please grant us visa reciprocity? Can you please give us an extension for 3 years? And America also come to say, hey, if we give you this reciprocity for 3 years, will you also do likewise for the people who are qualified? And Mr. Famuna, I agree with you 100%. 100%. The issuance of visa is not a right, it's a privilege.
Okay.
Nobody can go there demanding, but you can make a case. And your country was negotiating with America. America said, look, we need one another. So we're going to agree on this. There's going to be this reciprocity. So we need to agree on that. You can say, oh, well, you know, if it's part of the discussion, how sure are you to say that I wasn't part of the discussion? Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Representative Mulba, your parting comment.
All right, let me first of all start out with the major issue, the dismissal of pay. I think it's in the jurisdiction of the president. He has the right at any time to dismiss or appoint. Then to conclude with the issue of Garcia, I would like to say this. If the Liberian government were going to reject Garcia, trust me, we're never, I repeat, we're never going to be given the visa extension. So we are not foolish people, right? If the American government wanted to do this, they should have done that in January, February, before the process of those agreements. So I would like to say this: the Liberian people, we were there, we were elected to represent them. As we discussed the issue, we have to be very factual with things so that they outside can get the information from us. So again, I'm not against the government. I'm not against any government because I'm part of the government. But when I see ills, I speak ills. Thank you. God bless you.
Many thanks, Reb. Yes, Edwin.
So I will start with the issue of Minister P. I think, yes, we've done all of the speculations, we've done the analysis, but like I said, I think he's still within the realm of the governance system. It's possible that there is some assignment for him that could come in the not distant future. You know, that he could be sent to some of these important missions as Liberia's representation based on what he has exhibited in terms of integrity, in terms of understanding the political issues or so. On the issue of the visa reciprocity and other stuff, look, we have to understand. Ghana, as all of you guys said, yeah, Ghana refused Garcias, right? But Ghanaians still get 5 years visa. So why didn't the American government say, okay, Ghana, if you refuse to take Garcias, we'll cut it, we'll cut this thing down from 5 years to 1 year or so. That's not how diplomacy work. And to Brother Moses, I have, as a senior student, as a graduating senior student of the law school, I've done something called negotiations. I know exactly what are some of the things that you put on the table and what angle from which you can negotiate from. From January of this year, this issue of visa reciprocity came out. There have been a lot of argument. In fact, even the way our people are treated when they get to the embassy. Representative Musa Benete even raised that issue one time, that it is not decent with the way our people stand out there, people going under the rain, under the sun, they're standing out there. All of these things has been discussed. Now, government comes and government go. President Salif may have started it, but that was a different government. President Trump has a different government, has a different policy. The foreign minister and her team, when they met Minister Marco Rubio and Secretary of State, and they put their own card on the table. Like, look, if you want us to do this, then you have to do this for our people. And I have American friends that will come here with 3-month visa, single entry, same thing. So if it is happening at this point in time, I think it's a plus, and we should welcome it so that we can be able to do more. Okay. But I just want to say a big thank you to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs team. Where we are now, are we satisfied? No, we need to push to be able to do more. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Famula, and thanks to the rest of the team. We'll be back here on Wednesday, on Friday. But before going, let's try to just reference some of our viewers now. All Maxwell Kendima, he said he's been watching from Baton Estate. Gloria Boyu passed away. Been watching from the USA. Gabriel Swain, he said been watching from Chickasaw Factory. Vinicius Junior Bai, he been watching from Newtown. Salia N. Yang from Jaratown Community. Victor Molbab from Freeport, he been watching. Ophelia S. George been watching from home. Paul Labor from Monrovia. May Carter, they say from where? And it's Johnson, they say from where? Which you call all of you. Until then, until Friday, Sabo George is my name. Have a pleasant and restful night.